moving in slow-mo. I'm a god, but I actually don't know. Homie, better put your pride aside. I'm a Benz, get more like a Volvo. Your best stuff looks like my words. Synapses, fire, and burst. Got the whole crew with me, about to do damage. You know we ain't average. I ain't gonna say this again, but it's in my time. Better look in my eyes. I'm a genius in the skies with my heart on my sleeve. You force you a block to a king in his prime. Everybody got a line. Sit back with the stars in line. I finesse like my life on the nine. Was a diamond in the rough, and now I shine.
No one could stop us, they'll try, but they won't. Nada nos puede parar. Oh no, we're wide awake now. Our eyes are wide open. We're running this world. We're keeping it turning. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. Oh, sleeping giants. Sleeping giants. Yeah, shutting it down. Been in the ground, and my people all up in this place. Spinning this thing, go to my rank. Royalty up in my veins. I'm loco, think I'm so cold. I say something, ain't no going back. Now they ask where Kiki's at. I'm like, you can't hang with that. 쏟아져 빛이 멀게 된 눈이 멈추지 않아. Once we go, 내게 넣은 내는 모든 뼈 빨리 달려. 넌 못 따라와. True damage we do it. True damage 보여줄게. 뭐든 쉽게. 이기든 지든 my crew make the beat. No one could stop us. They'll try, but they won't. Nada nos puede parar. Oh no, we're wide awake now. Our eyes are wide open. We're running this world. We're keeping it turning. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. It's not the way we're weak, but we coming right back. This time you're gonna see how we do it like that. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. Oh, sleeping giants. Sleeping giants.
I keep on shattering time. I might just leave you behind. Homie, you stuck on rewind. You just quit sleeping on mine. You got your back on reclined. When I damage your delicate spine, please don't act out, shy and surprised. They be like, what you mean? What is your winning scheme? I got a giant team. Big as my self-esteem. Run it back, running man. They think they go hard, I'm like, come again. You run at a time and I'm busting in. While you stumbling, I got this blade in my hand for your punishment.
We're wide awake now. Our eyes are wide open. We're running this world. We're keeping it turning. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants. We're giants. It's not the way we're weak, but we coming right back. This time you're gonna see how we do it like that. We're living like giants. Yeah, giants. We're bigger than giants.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Salty Runback. This is week 2 of the PMA LCS, week 4 of the show, 5 of the show,
5, I think.
4,
Yeah.
4,
Five?
4. I think it's 4
Justin.
too.
I think you all aligned to me.
I think it's 4 of the show. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So
This is
we're
my
week 4
third
of the
show.
show.
This is my third show.
You covered 1 week, I think.
You covered for me.
I think it's week 5. I think it's week 5.
It doesn't matter. So just to
It's
give you guys.
week 4.
Anyway,
So this is what we got going on this week, guys. I'm Quality. I got Yomi Masu somewhere on one of these angles that I'm pointing at. I got Perpetual Tilt somewhere else, and I got Squintz somewhere else. They're up and down, left or right of me, or somewhere. And we're your hosts of the show. We've reformatted the show this week, guys, so that we basically try to save ourselves on a little bit of time, because last week ran 2 hours. And your boy likes to go to bed. As well as a bunch of just other house cleaning kind of things where we've looked it over document, and so we've swapped some things around. So all of you guys that like to jump in for your PMA LCS stuff and get it immediately, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. XD. But we've along with the reformat, we've done a little extra sectional content so that there is a little extra spice to talk about before we get directly into our PMA LCS content. Let me get to my sheet here. So first things first, we've got another contest for you guys. And I'm going to lead in with the rewards for this one. So our first place contestant in this is going to receive $10 worth of RP, and second place is going to receive $5 worth of RP. If your submission is really good, second place person, you're getting it from me, so you might get $10 too. So make it really good, everybody that makes the submissions. So this contest runs exactly the same way as the last contest, except you have to pick a character that has already existed in popular media. So basically, if you ever wanted to see the Master Chief from Halo in League of Legends, then I want you to go out and I want you to design what the Master Chief would be like in Halo. If you like Chester Cheeto, I want you to go out and design Chester Cheeto from the Cheeto
Blast! Cheeto farts.
Cheeto farts, cheese blast. Go back to the old Super Nintendo Cheetos game where you could do it. Get Pac-Man in there, Gerg7. Run wild with it. So your whole goal will be to design a kit that is balanced, that has, that isn't game breaking. So, it's not as simple as walk in, press Q, kill everybody, gain 6 pike stacks at the same time, but you want it to be as fair as possible. You could do Sora, like Light Pulse is saying in the chat right now. It doesn't matter.
Pac-Man.
You can pick whoever you want to do. You can find fancy art to it. You can draw the art yourself. It's all about how far you want to go into it. And basically, the further you go with this, the more likely we are to look at it and be like, wow, you put a lot of things on a sheet of paper, therefore you win.
I don't care. I don't care if you write a song that has nothing to do with it. I'm gonna be like, that's a lot of words right there.
That's a lot of work. There's a lot of words. And sometimes, that's just the way we get graded in high school and college. And sometimes it just works out in your favor. So run that same contest back, guys. Just this time around, pick somebody that's already existed in media. So like I said, Master Chief, Chester Cheeto, Kratos from God of War. Doesn't matter who. Pick your favorite video game character or media character. It doesn't have to be a video game character. You could pick Harry Potter, for Christ's sake, if you wanted to.
Mickey Mouse as a cop.
Harry Potter is a video game character. There were Wii games, I think. Harry Potter.
There were PlayStation 2 games before there were Wii games.
Yeah. See, so he is a video game character. Get it straight.
You know what, Hoagie? If you wanted to do celebrities, go ahead and do celebrities. Throw in the mix too. If you wanted get Janet Jackson on the riff,
no, he wants a Britney because it's Britney, bitch.
If you want to put Britney in there, go for it. My wife,
for example, just asking for a friend. Is Britney Spears okay? Love you, Hoagie.
No, go ahead. Just pick somebody that's already represented in popular media and make them a champion.
Get Mickey Mouse, make him a cop, and call it Mouse Cop or something. That'd be good.
I'll kill you.
And I'll say this, because I'm going to read all of these. I read all the last ones. I didn't read all the math behind everybody to make sure everybody was, statistically balanced, because I'm not a game designer. But I did read all of these. And what I want from this, guys, is I don't want it as simple as, they fell through a hole and wound up in League of Legends. Don't do that. Get some effort behind it. If you want to even make your own League of Legends character, but really just make the 1-for-1 of Mickey Mouse, do it.
I just, all I can see now is Master Chief was playing golf one day, went to put his hand in the hole, he got sucked down by all the League of Legends players.
It's just Space Jam. have Michael Jordan get Space Jammed into the League of Legends universe from the Space Jam universe. But anyway, that's your contest, guys. So like I said, $10 of RP for the first place winner, $5 guaranteed for the second place winner. You might get more if I'm feeling generous and my bank account is feeling generous. But for those of you that tuned out on us last week after we got done talking about PMA LCS stuff, we included a new section into the show, a section that was inspired by our boy who's in the chat, Gerg7, and this section is called Questions of No Significance. This is also just where we're going to discuss general PMA LCS stuff, but we like to call it Questions of No Significance. And so the hot button topic, the spicy runback topic for the week is there any value behind having power rankings and tier lists? Do we feel that it causes more harm than good to our community? And with that said, I'm going to open the floor to whoever wants to jump in and talk about this first.
Before you get started, there is a prediction in chat for whether or not Justin is wearing more than the top half of his suit. He's either wearing a full suit or just the top half. So vote now.
Full suit,
vote now on your phones. We'll reveal at the end of the show.
Yikes. Okay. But yeah, go ahead. Whoever wants to jump in.
I love how we all have opinions on these, and when I open the floor, we're quiet.
No, sorry. I'm just trying to make sure I have chat up on my surface. So I'll read it. Yes, it is good. Because so there's clarification that needs to be had. Can it cause negative reactions and feelings? 100%. But that's like most media out there. There is nothing out there that is 100% pure or unbiased or anything like that to any degree. But I do believe that tier lists and power rankings are a good thing more so than not for PMA LCS. My time in the PMA LCS has been dedicated to a vision of improving brothers through league, inside league and outside of league, which is the way that I try to operate GCU. You know, I have my little slogan is that I maybe can't make you a challenger player, but I can make you a challenger person. All right. So like overall, for people to be able to receive feedback and criticism that is hopefully based within like logics and not just like completely off of, you know, oh, I just felt that way. So this week, Tyler's the best support, or this week, Minbung, he's boo-boo. He sucks. Right. And I met a lot of that criticism. I felt head on from a lot of people who were very adamant about it being more accurate. Now, I could have just been like, yeah, you, but I took what they said, and I feel like over the course of stuff, I made better, more accurate, and whilst including myself, which I know is a huge topic right now in these power rankings, that if you can have better self-awareness and growth and emotional awareness and maturity for yourself, then I think this is a really good place. I don't think it always starts that way, but I think to dismiss it and be like, we shouldn't do them at all is denying some brothers and the whole community a place to grow, or a medium in which to grow and to be real with yourself in terms of your overall gameplay and just how you know how you are. So
Chris, Justin, anything to rip off of that? Sean seems to think they're a good idea. You guys know me. I'm either way about it. So, what do you guys have to think?
Okay, yeah, I'll go. So I agree with a lot of the stuff that Sean said. So I think in general, creating any content, especially if it's yours for a certain group, and to share it with that group is really really good. I'm kind of torn on whether or not I like ranking brothers. But there is something to be said. Like, I know when Sean was doing his tier list back when I was like hard stuck silver, I'm like, I want to get better at this game, make these tier lists one day, and we know where I'm at now, significantly better at the game, right? I think the saltiness that comes from these tier lists is more or less people wanting some attaboys. And I'm all about like giving attaboys. Hey, you did great this week. You did great the other week, etc. You have to find like a nice balance, yeah, of like make sure, especially if you are making it, it's like I'm always gonna put these 10 people onto this tier list because they're like my favorite people, as opposed to these players really stood out this season.
The only thing I will say off your attaboys comment is that this is probably the crux of the whole thing for me. We are all brothers in Phi Mu Alpha, and we have, taken sort of vows and stuff to uphold and raise each other in the best, truest fraternal spirit ways. And this is a medium in League of Legends in which we can do that. Now, I know some people are in here just to have fun, and that's fine. And some of those people don't get butthurt about it, but some of them do. And then other people who are in it for more competitive reasons are butthurt, but love it when they get the attaboys. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. And if we're truly trying to do the best and truest fraternal spirit, you have to take it as it comes and make yourself better. Now, if someone's just shitting on you without logic, then yeah, we're going to call them out. I mean, I feel like New Kappa Turk is probably one of the people who called me out when my logic wasn't foolproof. Like I was making successions for some people that I wasn't making for other people based off the same criteria. So I wasn't consistent. right? And then that's a problem that happens. I don't agree that people shouldn't include themselves. I think you can if you're being honest. And I also disagree that it has to be people who are not involved in the split, because while I think that is better for a community perception, it doesn't necessarily make it any different, because they're the people involved in the split as well, and they should be allowed to do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna lead off by saying I'm more on the fence about this issue. I do not have a strict I don't like it or I like it, but I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate here because I think there's some decent talking points. So I think that a lot of, from what I see, just from people commenting or people talking to me, it's some people didn't ask to be ranked, and so there are brothers that do not have that same fuel that Justin was talking about, how he was ranked low and he wanted to prove himself. Some people take it the other way and they're like, I'm ranked low, I suck, I don't want to play. And so some people need that positive reinforcement versus seeing it as a negative reinforcement, which, I mean, that's just a mindset. And you could argue that, okay, don't seek fulfillment in these power rankings, but at the same time, they didn't ask to be ranked. It's not like they were like, hey, rank me, and then they're mad when they get ranked low. Like, it's like they didn't want to see it at all. So I can at least understand that viewpoint of not wanting to be ranked. And I kind of am more. I think that if you want to appear as unbiased as possible, you should not be participating in the split. I think that that's the biggest thing about perception, is that, and the reason that these get so much like fire is because you have people participating in the split ranking their own teams / themselves. And again, I don't necessarily think it's like 100% bad thing if they're using like strictly stats and stuff. But I think that, which, as you were talking about, you weren't when like, for example, Tyler called you out in that situation, you were making concessions for some things and not others. I think that you are more likely to do that if you're ranking yourself, because you have full context of what happened within your team, and you may not be as hard on yourself because it's like, okay, the jungler called this, so like I can, but like in other games you don't have that context. So I think that it's impossible to come off as unbiased, even if you are like self-aware. I think that it's just it's an impossible situation. And I think putting yourself in that situation and expecting to not be flamed for it, you know, I don't know. As I think that ideally it's someone not participating, but I don't want to exclude somebody because they don't participate at all. So,
Sean, I can see it on your face. You got something to say.
Well, no, you need to read what was just read in chat.
I'm looking at it.
That's so good. Who is actually y'all whatever? That y'all hit it right on the head. That like it's basically a one person's view of like the draft, when how that's a power ranking, but no one's like, oh, I got drafted last. Like, if you looked at that and like, perfect example, Neil the Steel getting drafted like one of the lowest ones one time for a jungler when he was on Long Anime Schlongs or whatever. And then he was like, I'm not going to be drafted last. I want to get better. I want to improve. It's an individual mandate that you have to have within yourself, but if you want to improve. Like
within the context of a draft, though, there are certain situations in which you would pick other players first. And like, so
that's fair. But at the same time, there are certain games that show. I also think that, so like, if we look at the difference between like Cornstar and Chris's Yuki TFT's like power rankings, is that sometimes I think the idea of power ranking is like, is this current or total, right? Like after week 1, are you combining only what happened in week 1, or are you trying to tell me that these are still the 10 best players in the league, which is two totally different conversations.
And
right?
I think that also gets that gets muddled too, because it's not ever explicitly defined as that. And I think that in those cases, those players could maybe do a better job of when they post this out, like, hey, this is what we think after week 1, like this is what we saw, these were the best players in week 1, or this was the best team in week 1, or after this thus far in the split, these players have performed the best. Honestly, I think something that would be maybe better, just if I had to throw it out there, almost like what we do with like a players to watch list of like, hey, I think these players could pop off, and maybe they do, maybe they don't. I think that the community would get more value out of that personally than.
You mean like what we do at this show?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just no. That was not intended to go that way, but like, I think that there's a lot of merit when people say that they have criticism of it, but I'm not fully on the board that we shouldn't do it. Like, I just think that. I think that if you don't like it, then I mean, voice that. But at the same time, like, you don't have to go and click on the links. They're not like posted out on the Facebook page.
To access your Facebook, you must read the PMALC.
Yeah.
It's like the beginning of the split. Like, you, instead of like there being a you agree to the rules, you have to read the power, like all the power rankings from last split to play in this split.
You know what? When you're trying to access the Wall Street Journal, you scroll down, it's like you have to subscribe. You have to subscribe. You just can't.
I'm just gonna make my own power rankings. These are Chad Penguin power rankings.
Yeah, well, Maye would make one. It would just be men bung, men bung, bung, bung.
I
think there's like a toss ball of like kind of like the same point that's going around here, that it like either these are for you or these are not. And I want to echo like the post that I made on the thread that kind of blew up a little bit on our Facebook page, which is like these folks that are designing this content. Like, I always ask the question, especially like when I'm writing an article or something, like, who am I directing this to? Am I writing clickbait this week? Then I'm throwing an easy free throw kind of thing, or am I doing something that's a little bit more like targeted towards specific groups or audiences and stuff like that? And I think it's important for these guys that make the content, even like for us on the show, to really design where their stuff is going to. And I think the problem is right now is they have a shotgun of ideas and they're shooting the shotgun into the crowd, and some people that don't want to get hit are upset that they're getting hit by the bullets. And that's understandable, especially like we were talking about, like with Chris, who doesn't really, you've got individuals that really don't want to be involved in the rankings, or like there's somebody that perceives themselves negatively because they're not on these lists, or even if they're somebody like me that like I find value in these lists because like I love seeing my name lower on the list. Like, I love that stuff. I live off of spite.
Bro. Put me at the top, or don't put me, bro.
Well, I say it all the time. Like, I live off of spite. That's something that makes me better. So I love getting negative criticism. I love getting feedback. I love getting like those things, those tips, or love getting like downgraded essentially, because that's something that motivates me. But I also understand that not everybody thinks the same way that I do. So,
no, bro, not a bottom 10, not a bottom 10 players list. Do not do that.
Why don't we just push all the power
rankings and put them somewhere else?
Shit.
No, the only thing I want to address at the end is that I think there are people who are saying that a lot of people just don't care about the power rankings. I will just wholeheartedly disagree, just because of the amount of like, whether they care if they're on them or not, that's different, but do they have an opinion on power rankings?
Oh, most
boy
definitely.
Do they ever. Because that thread, I just went in and I was like, oh.
So that's what we're doing today, huh?
Then sending in my resignation about 4 weeks early here, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I feel like we discussed well that's about all we can say on it. I don't know.
Tambourine King Dylan already did that.
We can go around and around on it, but I think that this is an issue that it's not one that
it's on the individual. It's on the individual.
It's how you see it, and it's not a right or wrong fact, or false. Like, it's like, and it's just your opinion, man.
I'm just gonna throw this one out there too for everybody that's like in this. I think there is a vein out of everybody that plays in the PMLCS where we want to improve and we want to get better. And you have brothers that are going to be vastly more critical. They're going to be, not necessarily inconsiderate towards your feelings, but they're going to be very like straight talk to you. They're going to be very like, hey, this was a bad decision. This is the decision that you should have made. But like, they're going to be every brother is going to be out to help you. Basically is what I'm trying to get at. Like, there are going to be some that deliver it in some fashions. There'll be some that can deliver it more in the attaboy fashions. And, as we mingle with each other, as we play through the splits, as we do bro fives and all of these things, it's kind of on you to find that brother that is both a good teacher, but also teaches in the style that you like. Because we're all adults and we can decide how we receive feedback.
Except for Maye, he's 12.
Except for Maye, he's literally 12. Card him at your wedding, Sebastian.
Hell yeah.
But on that note, gavel's down. decide what you do with the power rankings and if they matter to you yourselves. We're moving on into our patch notes, sponsored by Perpetual Tilt.
Chad P Flex Enterprises. Get your Chad P Flexes in the chat. $5.99 on twitch.tv/crispychad. Sorry. Just my shameless plug there. So yeah, we talked at length last week about the patch notes and the direction that they're taking for quite a few champions. So I think that we're gonna take this in the direction, since they're not actually published. We're still kind of speculating with these 11.9 like pre-patch notes that they do. They're not official yet, but I think that this is mostly the direction they're going. There haven't been any updates, and it'll be live by Wednesday. So we're going to talk about how they influence the PMA LCS. I'll pop them up here for reference, just so we can have that on the stream. Give me one sec. Yeah. So this is what we were looking at last week. And I think the things to focus on are mostly in the nerfs and mainly the Hecarim nerf, but also this Kim Tank nerf, I think, is going to hurt more champions too. I think the Kim Tank nerf is going to hit Udyr, and it hits Hecarim, and even Mundo to some extent. Mundo's getting double nerfed with his stat nerfs as well as the Kim Tank nerf, but he can also go Frostfire Gauntlet, which we're going to talk about. But yeah, so I think the Hecarim nerf is massive, like massive to tank Hecarim. And I mean, maybe there's a damage build that pops up, but if your game's on Wednesday, I just wouldn't even pick him, dude. Just avoid it.
Yeah, if you got a Hecarim player, definitely drop that guy on the ground.
Yeah, definitely drop that Hecarim player. Definitely don't draft a Hecarim player. You know, definitely don't have one as a captain. But yeah, then also I mean, we saw people like Malcolm XYZ in lower in second division playing Diana, and Diana's getting nerfed too. So they're nerfing a lot of the parts of her clear that made it like disgusting. So I think that something like that is gonna take a hit, and then Morgana jungle as well, getting toned back a little bit. Some of these guys that are trying to cheese us with some triple flex action. Morgana, oh, are we gonna jungle it? Are we gonna take it mid? Are we gonna take it support? Who knows? Fred just played it last week, and it's like the most OP thing in the game, but they might do a support. Sorry. I'm just passionate. Yeah, so I think that
salty.
No, I'm not salty. We won the game.
Yeah, they did win that game.
Yeah, so I think that those are the biggest nerfs that are going to affect the PMA LCS. And these buffs, though, I think that this Sunfire buff, hey, there's a champion, and he has three-letter name, and he is already disgusting, and an item he builds is getting buffed. Zach.
No, but you don't.
You can build some. You build Frostfire. Frostfire's the build, but like you have another option now.
See, this is the problem with PMA LCS. Chad comes on and talks about his patch notes. Build this, and it's wrong, and then everyone's like, "Why'd I lose my game?"
Okay, but this is what I'm saying.
This is perfect. We're the scapegoat. So now when they lose their game, they don't have to accept the blame themselves. They can just blame Chris.
Udyr is touched with touched. Udyr was like he's nerfed with these Kim Tank nerfs, chat.
And Dead Man's Plate, yeah.
And Dead Man's Plate, yeah. They hit 2 of his items. So he's still like gonna be good, but he's not gonna be OP because they hit 2 of his items. They did what they did to Hecarim because they hit 2 of Hecarim's items, but they also nerfed the shit out of Hecarim because he was more OP. Anyways,
Glue Factory, yeah.
Yeah. So I think the Sunfire nerf gives Zach players options if they want to like clear faster and be a little bit more tanky. You don't want to go for the Frostfire build, but that champ, by the way, is untouched and he's already broken. And I know a lot of you in the PMA LCS can pull him off. And he's kind of hard to play against. Speaking from my team practices, so don't get any ideas.
Walks in Jinx and the first pick gets jumped off. Wah!
Yeah.
Oh,
Also,
we play you this week, Chad. You know what's coming.
you ain't shit. All right. Anyways, he's gonna camp bot now. No. There's also I missed this, but the Jinx bug fix nerf is pretty significant too. You're losing 25% damage. Apparently, there's some bug with these rockets that like did full damage or some shit with the splash damage. That's pretty good. Pretty good nerf.
It's also a significant nerf today, and I hear it looks like.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. They nerfed a lot of the elements of her clear with the attack speed and stuff like that. So and then we also have in the buffs we're looking mostly at like I think Lulu is a wow, I didn't mean to click on that. I lost you guys. All right. Yeah. Shit. I did it again. Fuck. All right. Technical difficulties, operator error, fuck me. Yeah. So with these Lulu buffs though, I know a lot of you can pull off Lulu, including Super Hoagie in the chat. I see you. This is a champion you want to be playing. And okay, Mr. Matt's hype about Taric buffs, and this is not as significant though. It's 20 mana. Like it's not going to make you play Taric.
It's the last one. It's the last rank of it going down. Really.
Yeah. It's like it'll end up being like 4 or 5 per level. So yeah.
Oh, yo! I just realized that. Yeah, Lulu and Cog buffed on the same patch.
Oh yeah, no, this is 100% Deathbot play Cogbot Lulu. This is like, this is them begging you. And I think Trundle getting buffed is a buff to Mimbung. I've seen that man troll on Trundle.
Now somebody get a hold of Dylan Hortensi.
Yeah. Where's Dylan? Someone at General Dill in the
at
chat.
the Memorial Stadium, they've got the contact.
True.
Yeah, Shin buff is actually, I think, the biggest one in the patch because it's done something for him that he's needed for a long time, is to have a bonus health ratio on his R. So he's actually getting a bigger shield that isn't generated off of AP or like, I believe, like it's health as well, like how low their health is. He gets a bigger shield. I could be mistaken on that. But the bonus health is really nice.
I think it's just the base amount of the shield is going to be buffed by the bonus HP. So, yeah.
Well, that's nice though. It's nice that the number will go up.
Because you never built AP on him, like so. 135% AP is not shit.
Yeah.
AP Shin, by the way. Yeah. So I think that's the biggest champs of the patch that we can look at and see that there are some champions not touched, like Zach. And Udyr to some extent, but they touched his items. Another champ in the top lane that wasn't touched, Urgot. And Urgot is very strong too. And I know a lot of you top laners, especially in the second division, can play Urgot. And he's very good. So you should pick him up and try to run over your top lane with him. Because
especially with the matchup still being very tank-oriented in top lane right now.
Yeah. Also, there's this champion that we've been talking about for weeks now that hasn't been touched in the jungle. It's not Zach. He's a spooky, scary skeleton, scarecrow. Fiddlesticks. Yeah, play that guy. There's
another champion that maybe Jacob has a few words on that's not touched in here, even though that she's received some nerfs. But Seraphine?
Yeah. So Bash's Seraphine also plays it. Don't know what to think of that. Yeah, Seraphine's untouched. I was getting there. I was kind of going down the lanes, but she's a mid laner, so yeah, Seraphine's kind of untouched. Please just gut that freaking champ. Give her the Akali treatment.
Somebody just like please clip the Rafal clip from the other night that I casted.
They did.
That's the exact reason that I want that champion neutered.
Yeah.
Like it's not anything about else about the kid. It's like I want like the ultimate addressed.
Neutered.
I'm excited to see where the bot lane meta goes because they did slightly tone back Jinx, and there's not really like a standout like OP pick and yeah, I think Kog'Maw's gonna rise, but yeah, I'm kind of excited to see where this bot lane meta actually turns up because I think it could turn into hyper carry zone, which is kind of your boy's wheelhouse. So looking forward to that.
Hyper carries. What?
That's Justin. Justin's shaboy. I'm your boy.
Well,
Don't squint like that, Justin.
Can't help it.
All
Part of the
right.
brand.
Yeah.
so is that all you got on our patch notes?
I think
then?
so. I think so. If you guys have any thoughts on that, on any champions that I missed, maybe. But I think that's kind of like the gist of what we're looking at as far as like what this patch does for the PMA LCS.
Well, we've got one other change that's not a PMA LCS address change, but it's more of a community address change. And in our new section that's going to be focused around Riot dev updates, our boy Squintz is going to take it over and talk to us about the behavioral system changes that got announced.
Yeah,
just a week ago.
I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. So we can get into the juicy PMA LCS stuff that you all come for the podcast for, but haha. But it is kind of significant, especially if you're doing your rank grind this season. I don't know when they're rolling it out. I didn't see anything on the dev update, but their goals is to reduce the frequency of disruptive behavior, specifically reduce the frequency of repeat offenders. And they're going to do that by using this reporting confidence system that they have. So basically, if you get into a habit of actually reporting, like real disruptive behavior, you're going to become more confident in their eyes and they'll take you more seriously, as opposed to somebody who's just spamming the report button, if that kind of makes sense. So I'm looking forward to that coming out. And then another thing that they are coming out with is queue dodging penalties. So this is significant. You always hear like diamond players like just dodge. It's not worth it if like the team comp isn't working or whatever. So as it exists right now, the first dodge in 24 hours is a 6-minute lockout. We've all seen that, done that, whatever. It's a 30-minute lockout as your second dodge in 24 hours. And after the third dodge, it's 12 hours. And keep in mind, with these dodges, you are losing ranked LP, but it's only like -3, -10 for the different tiers. Let's see here. Okay, so they are putting in an escalation on the existing tiers. Where am I? Sorry. Okay, so so they're reworking that. Now they have a AFK penalty escalation now, which is super, super nice. So as it exists, 5-minute lockout and auto loss, 10-minute lockout and auto loss, 15-minute lockout and auto loss. That's the 3 tiers that they had right now for AFKing in game. The revised tier is significant. So 5 minutes on the first one and an auto loss. That's same. The second one is 30 minutes. So they tripled that time and an auto loss. On the third tier, it's a 14-day lockout and an auto loss if you AFK 3 times. They didn't specify in how long, if it's like a week or a month or what they're doing for these AFKs. But that is significant.
I know we don't want to go too long here, but like I think if you I think the only thing I'm worried about with these dodging penalties specifically increasing is that like it's going to encourage people to just smurf more. Like I think that they're gonna keep dodging, and then on their third dodge, instead of just coming back to play on the account in a day, they're gonna go get on their Smurf account and play for a day, and like it's just gonna keep the Smurf problem an actual thing, and it's gonna be even worse probably.
The bigger problem is that they're not what they're actually doing. Why do you dodge? Right? That needs to be the question that's asked. Why do you dodge? You dodge because someone's trolling in your lobby. Your lobby's lower than 40%, 45% win rate. Your one-trick pony is off. He's got his champion banned and he's first timing, rel top or whatever. So it's like you're like, I don't want to play this. But because of the new penalties Justin just described, now people are almost incentivized to troll and like hover Disco Nunu to make other people dodge. They're rewarding the trolls with this system. They will never incentivize a way that's like, we're going to reward people for being good people, because that's just not how life works. Everyone is just going to tell you when you're bad. But the current system right now is actually giving the trolls and the people who want to, like, be degens in champ select, they're more power. And the only other thing I'll say is that the AFK thing, it doesn't matter, because the system doesn't track if you just sit in base for 50 minutes, as long as you touch your mouse every time before the AFK warning comes up. So those people still won't get tracked. It's not a perfect system right now, but it's even worse than it previously was.
Yeah, and I will add, Sean, yeah, it rewards the trolls, but even more so because there's another penalty that they're adding to this system. If you haven't looked at this yet, so it's an escalating LP penalty assessed for going AFK or leaving ranked games. Tier 1 being -2, Tier 2 -3, -5, -6, and -8, up to 5. So minus that amount of LP per game, and that's including your wins. I'm interested to see how they're gonna roll this out and how they're gonna add this penalty onto your account if you are dodging because of trolls.
Yeah.
One of those things too, we have to keep in mind with the system though, that everything is behind a tier. So you're not going to be like, if you're a person that does AFK and you're a person that does like hold your piece hostage, which, I hope to God, everybody that's in our chat is not that type of person. But if you are that type of person, or if you are somebody that does have the unfortunate like disconnect in a couple of games in a row, because like there have been those nights where we all have been there where like our connection's kind of shitty, and then we're like, oh well, I'm 500 ping for this game, and then like it's fine after that game, and then you go into the next game, and then boom, like lightning strikes the power outside of your house, and now you don't have any power. So it's 2 games in a row that you've disconnected. So you don't have to necessarily worry about receiving the harsher end of these punishments because you had an unfortunate evening of connection issues or something like that. It's all based on tiers, so it's all about consistently being an asshole. If you're consistently being an asshole, you're really going to suffer on the high end of all of these punishments. And I think that was like one of the biggest takeaways that I took from everything. Because like, outside of all of the rewarding of everybody else, I was like, oh, well, what if I have one of those nights? What if we have one of those nights? But they apparently have that in the way, they have a way to gauge that on their system. So that's nice to know at least.
Yeah, and they do say in the second half of 2021, they're going to be assessing this system. Maybe what Sean described will happen, and they'll have to like pull it back a little bit. But
they said that about the client too.
I'm not covering the client update because that's in the dev notes.
Shit. That is in the dev notes, and we know what that's going to come down to. That's just going to be like, all right, spaghetti code, XE.
Multi-dollar company.
Just bring back the tribunal and have it only for honor level 4 or higher players to be able to do that. It'd be great streaming content.
Oh yeah.
Right? To go through that, you'd have like LPP people going through like, Jimbo XYZ 42069XX was trolling these games. Let's see. And they read his chat. He's like, you mother.
Oh, no.
And then they're like, yeah, permaban.
No, put a link like, no, not even that, even better content. Well, that plus you have like a link to the game replay and it pulls up in your client, and then you can actually watch what they did. That would be some dank shit.
You would have to be able to do that because, I'll cut it short so we can go to the next one. But just Tribunal was great. It was fantastic. Having the ability to have replays, because you didn't have them back then when the Tribunal was alive. So to have the raffle file and be able to click it and pull it up in like a separate app or on your, it would be so great. You get more community involvement. People are more invested. And then also there would have to be someone at the end of Riot to be like, all right, all these seem pretty fair, but they're not doing it themselves. So at least allow other people to do it, man.
Yeah. Shall we get into the matches of last week and then the matches of this week?
Up, so let's go ahead and jump to it. So now we're here, all the juicy stuff. So after we get done, you guys can leave, okay? I'm kidding. Please don't leave. We have a little bit more afterwards, but we're getting into the meat and potatoes now, guys. So we're going to run back the week 2 as it all happened. We've got what we hope is the most accurate results here for week 2. I'm going to give you the TLDR of the first division. Draft Diff 2-0, and everybody else 1-1. So we're going to quickly run through what we predicted would happen for our caster points. And so the only two individuals that predicted Draft Diff to 2-0 again were myself and Sean, so we both get a point here.
Did I actually say 1-1 to be a contrarian?
Oh wait, no, you said 2-0 too. Excuse me.
I was about to say. I think I said 2-0.
Justin was the 1-1 this week.
The first prediction's always Chad going, "Did I say that?
Did I say that?"
Okay, well, I was right this time. You little
All right,
shits.
and so this is the one you were both right on. You guys predicted the 1-1 of finale and Bung's Last Resort, and you predicted it correctly, saying that you guys would win Game 2 versus Game 1. So we're awarding you guys the point for this week then.
Chat PFLEX in the chat. Okay, sorry.
OPTSM champ.
Exodos versus CS Gap was a 1-1 this week, and we had Sean and Chris predicting a 1-1 on this, where Justin predicted a 2-0 in the favor of Exodos, and I predicted a 2-0 in the favor of CS Gap. So Sean and Chris once again get a point. Right now, Sean is our leader overall.
Fuck Sean.
Oh no, you two are even. You two are even right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now jumping down into Division 2, we've got Jimmy versus GG Easy. This was a 1-1, and everybody predicted this to be an 0-2 in the favor of GG Easy. So we all got this wrong. We suck.
Sorry, guys. We doubted you, and you showed up. Good job.
That's fucking awesome, though.
GG easy.
GG easy.
The next game was Four Tops. I fucking love your name. It gets me every time. But Four Tops and a Bottom, is that what it was?
Yes, Four Tops and a Bottom.
Four Tops and a Bottom versus Blitzcrank Fistcrank. This game was a 1-1. Sean predicted this as a 2-0 in favor of Four Tops. And myself and Justin predicted this as a 1-1. And Chris, you predicted this as an 0-2 in favor of Blitzcrank. So me and Justin were the only ones right here.
Okay.
Next up is Gank These Nuts versus Dylan Ortenzio Memorial Stadium. This match was a 1-1. Sean predicted this as a 2-0 for Gank These Nuts, which was incorrect. Chris, you called a 1-1. Justin also called a 1-1, so you guys get the points here. And I predicted a 0-2 towards Dylan Ortenzio Memorial Stadium. So let's see. And then the last one was Bees versus Teacock. This was a 2-0 in the favor of Bees. Good job, boys. I'm proud of you. I predicted this as a 1-1, though. And Justin predicted this as an 0-2. Sean predicted this as a 1-1. And Chris predicted this as a 1-1. Unfortunately, your 0-2 predictions were in the favor of Teacock, so nobody got this right. So no one wins this week.
Wait, oh, wait, yeah, just kidding. Never mind. I trolled. Never mind. Go ahead. Continue.
Did I say that?
Did I say that?
That leaves Chris with 1, 2, 3, 4 points. That leaves Sean with 1, 2, 3 points. So Chris is the winner for week 2.
Wait, this is not a week only thing. This is a whole season thing, right?
This is a whole season
but
thing.
I won. I won this week.
Yeah, everybody gets a point, right?
It ain't about how you start; it's how you finish. All right.
Heard that.
Everybody gets a point, and then when we get to the end of the season, whoever has the most accurate or has the most points of like the week predictions wins the whole shebang here out of the bragging rights. So good job, everybody, for defying some expectations out there. You know, a lot of our predictions were off of the mark this week, so really proud for everybody that stepped up and made some changes to their rosters and did some role swaps, did some pick swaps, and really got out there and diversified themselves to change or to run it back on us and run it back on our predictions. And so the next thing that we have up is our players to watch. And I'm going to start off with, I think it was Sean. You picked these guys to be your players to watch this week in OK3, who has since changed their name, and From Embers.
What did he change his name to?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. I remember hearing in my ear that OK3 has changed his name to something. If anybody that knows,
rip the best name in PMA-LCS.
He is Blue 17. Blue 17 now.
Boo 17, more like. No, I'm kidding.
So Sean, how'd your players do this week?
Well, they didn't. They
They
didn't.
post their stats.
Yeah. I mean, unless they posted it now.
Check your
What's up?
Discord.
I'll go check. Go on, give me a second.
Also, captains, if you haven't posted your stats yet, post your stats. Get out here, Scoop.
Yeah. CS Gap.
Yeah. CS Gap.
What?
Whoever.
Oh, yeah. Adrian needs to do it. That's right.
Yeah, Adrian, you little fuck. I'm sorry, I love you.
That was very aggressive.
You were my player to watch. I watched you, except I didn't really get to watch the game, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I was about to say, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You literally just asked me. Oh, he already posted it, loser.
Oh, they're literally in there. Literally. Shit. I'm glad they're not figuratively in there. Shit.
Well, because they were in my heart, so.
These nuts. They're just not on the stat sheet. Maye.
Okay, so looks like my boys Blue and From Embers, they lost both their games versus Teacock or Bees. Sorry, versus Bees. They're on Teacock, and yeah, that sucks.
That sucks. I'm gonna fill you in on what happened since I got to watch the game one of that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was traveling a lot this week, guys. That's why I'm in Houston right now.
OK3 and From Members made a little bit of an adjustment on their teams, and they played different roles than what they had played in week one. And I don't know if that led to exactly not everybody clicking in fully for week two, but my boys Bees, they came in with a clear strategy to way to win this week, and they really defied some expectations. So unfortunate for your guys, Sean. So
that makes sense. Yeah, they were my players to watch in their original roles. So you don't need to watch. No, I'm kidding. You can still watch them.
You still watch them, but you had intentions in that regard. I have my player to watch this week, which was literally Nate, and he didn't get to play. So
yes, chat. We did not know that Nate wasn't going to be in when we made predictions. So.
We did not know. And Nate literally did not play League of Legends this week, so I'm literally going to watch him again for next week. So Nate, please play next week. So our next player up to watch was where am I at? Was JJ Bell.
Yeah, that was my pick, and I picked them into Draft Diff. I actually wasn't able to watch this one, but I'm looking at the stats right now. It didn't seem like he did too bad. 1-5-8 in the first game, 4-5-4 on the second. Going into his team as strong as Draft Diff. I mean, he didn't hint, so that's good. I really wanted to watch that game because I do want to see how Neil's Crab Shack is going to progress this season. Maybe I'll have to watch the VOD. I don't know if that was streamed on a different channel other than LCS or if it wasn't LCS, but if anybody who watched that game can tell me how they looked.
LCS.
I think that was because it was one of the earlier games in the week. So,
Yeah.
but
I think it was on LCS.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So moving on, I guess my player to watch was Cornstar, the old corn dog, Adrian, the power man, the man with the ranking plan. He came in game one with a spicy little Silas pick into let's read off this team of all these ults he's gonna steal. Aurelia, Udyr, Seraphine, Jinx, Alistar. So about 3 out of 5 of those you want. Like, you don't really care for Aurelia ult, but like Jinx ult's all right, like Seraphine ult's all right, and then the Alistar
You're an
ult
80
is
carry.
like,
You're like,
pog.
yeah, all the 80 carry ults are valuable.
No, I mean, no, but like that's what I'm saying. All right, and all right in the Seraphine and Jinx tier. Seraphine's probably okay. So if I had to rank them, it would be like Alistar ult for sure, and then Seraphine, and then Jinx like down. So like even and Jinx even further down. But you can steal it and get away with it. You could nuke somebody across the map or some shit. So not the best team to be picking Silas into, and I mean he had kind of like a all right game. Like he didn't like hard int, but he didn't like just outright pop off either. And some of that may have been like team decisions, stuff like that. But game two, he got his signature. I mean, coming for Bear Jr.'s throat with the Yasuo pick. Somebody actually gets to play to the PMA LCS Bear, not you, bitch. Sorry, you ain't a bitch. I love you.
What?
I just used bitch.
You did.
Okay.
You're like, no, bitch.
So, all right. I just want you all to know, as my viewers of this podcast, I don't ever say bitch in a demeaning way. It is always for emphasis or to be lighthearted. So
It's
just
a
to get that out of the way.
sentence enhancer.
It is a sentence enhancer. Yeah. So, but game 2, all right. He did have a really, really solid game. He didn't have like the KDA score line to go with it. It was 4-3-10 on the Yasuo, but he had like a massive farm advantage, and he was putting out a lot of damage. I think he was like most on his team or second. Oh no, okay, he wasn't. He was like 4th on his team, but he did pretty well. So, like, I think overall very solid performance. Not like the quote unquote mid gap we were expecting, Sean, but yeah.
Me? Talk to Adrian. He Flame Horizon and everything. Also, Greg, I was at my birthday party. And then I came later, and I may have or may not had some margaritas, and I was casting. Yes, but stop flaming me. But also, Legends makes a good point. The Aurelia Ultimate, good AP ratio on it, so it's actually a good ult for Silas to steal. So that should be above Jinx for sure.
Okay. I didn't know that. Today I learned something. Thank you.
I was at my birthday party.
Somebody exclamation point Legends in the chat because I learned something today.
It's a learning experience.
All right.
I wish we had like, voice commands when we did our exclamation points. Like it also like played a voice thing. It was like, it's a learning experience, but exactly in that person's voice.
Clip attached to it.
Yeah, I would love that. So let's see. That wraps up our players to watch. So one of the things that we like to go into every single week when we talk about where teams can go from into the next week is we like to discuss common themes and things that we saw over the course of the week. For myself, one of the things that I saw was really kind of just an unawareness of level 1 strategies. And I'm going to flame my captain here on this one, who didn't trust me when I said Chris had been watching us all week. But this is just going to be me saying that really when you're going into lobby, a thing to really start doing as now that we've gotten into we're going into week 3, is to really start to like establish a pattern of play or really establish a game plan from your earliest levels. So if you draft a level 1 comp or a comp that has a very good invade at level 1, make sure that you're playing to that strength. Don't just be a bitch in 5-point. Or if you're on the weaker end of the level 1 comps, then do things that are proper in a fashion that's not going to get you screwed over. So basically, my word of advice for everybody for this week is to set a game plan from the earliest point of the game, which is as soon as you spawn into the Rift. So start talking about that on the draft as soon as you lock in your last pick, as well as while you're in the client, and we're ticking down because we have to do that after we get done with pro draft. And as you're on the loading screen, make sure you're talking about what's going to happen at level 1, who's dropping what ward, who's invading what, who's leading what, and where we're all lining up at. So that's my word of advice. My word of advice. And that's my word of advice. That's my word of advice this week. Build off of that success. And so what do you guys have to say for people to build off of this week?
Well, Fred's giving you a pro tip in the chat. Don't draft 3 AP into Mundo, but I would say don't walk into a 4-man rel W either. Like, I mean, yeah. So definitely level 1 is important, like Jake said. But I think still some teams are kind of still figuring each other out as far as team synergy is concerned, and like figuring out each other's play styles. So I would say, try to get getting in games with your teammates outside of just your PMA LCS matches, and try to form those almost like synergies that like you don't have to think about and tell people to do something. Like you just can both be on the same page. That all comes with just reps. Like that's like me and Jake can just do that shit because like we played the game a lot together.
I don't know where these people are on my side, but I've got that with both of these people.
He's
not this one, but both of these.
He's talking about me and Justin. He's pointing to the other side is where he needs to be pointing, but yeah.
How do you not know? It's the same.
But anyways, so yeah, so that would be my thing to just keep on working on this week if we're talking about that.
I'll go next. So last week we had talked about playing to your team's strengths and finding your team's strengths and then playing around that. I'm going to go the opposite direction, and that's finding your weaknesses and learning how to play into that, if that makes sense. So last week we went into a triple tank comp, and we didn't have a way to play around it or into it. So this week we have some people learning some stuff, picking some stuff up, and so next time, assuming that the other team has done their draft prep and we go into another triple tank comp, we're a little bit more prepared.
I don't even know if it was we didn't have a champion to play. I think as when we got to that like 5 seconds left of the clock to lock in, and we're like, "Fuck, what do we play? What do we play? What do we play?"
So maybe
just
a little bit
of the champion. So
in draft and like knowing what you need to counteract what the other team is doing is going to help a lot. Then,
yeah, I would. My pro tip is just, we don't spend enough time together in practice to like really work on a bunch of the big things that you can work on. Like the thing I talked about last week with like neutral setups. Just go back to having a clear-cut draft identity. Like in your draft, you need to have a game plan. And then like, you're like, all right, we're going to pick Hecarim. It's the most OP champion up. And then you draft 4 champions afterwards who don't want to go in. So Hecarim's literally just sending himself into 5 people. And then you're like, why are you inting? And he's like, dude, it's the only thing I can do. What are you talking about?
This is all my champion knows how to do.
Yeah. So like, I think, and we kind of saw that a little bit in the CS gap versus Alados on tap, Axolotls on tap game last night, where like they had a really, really clear identity on AOT where they wanted to go forward. And then the CS gap really just wanted to like absorb the engage and not get blown up immediately from it. And the only other thing I will say with that is that just referencing that draft as a benchmark for AOT is that there was like, it's not mono damage, but the amount of damage that they had was very low. So if you have low damage comps on your team, they're harder to execute because it's like, well, they killed Kog'Maw. Lulu has no one to buff. Good luck, everybody else. And then you have the 3 tanks sort of thing going on, just like slapping each other. Or if you see the enemy team is drafting low damage, find a way to just draft more sustain, because then you're going to win these long fights. So like Soraka, Sona, with all the stuff that's happened to the Shirelia's buff and everything. So things like that. Seraphine, obviously, if she's not already banned. But those are just small things. That's about it.
We're about to do players to watch, Joe. Cool. Don't worry. We're getting to that. The predictions, the players to watch. It's coming
Justin,
up.
stand right now. I don't want Neil to leave.
No. Don't stand. After the predictions.
After the predictions. So I would say one thing that I have forgotten about as I'm looking at the docket is I didn't put out a thread for you guys to send in your clips. So if you have a clip from this week that you wanted to get played on the podcast today for us to watch with everybody and see, embarrassing things like, a rel alt or rel W into like 4 people that
not embarrassing, super pog
that turned the game for, a comp that would have been fine in some people's opinions.
Turn the game
that are wrong. But if you guys have a clip in mind, send it to me or anybody that's on the podcast here, and we'll be happy to have that backlog so we can look at that for next week when I remember to include that on our docket and make a post about it.
He just didn't do it. It was on purpose. It was like, I just know they're gonna put this rel W on the stream, and I'm not mentally ready for it.
I forgot.
He's big braining you.
I at least got to show up this week because you didn't 2-0 me, so I didn't have to rage quit our cast for this week. So we are getting now into our predictions. So Chris, why don't you pull up our schedule if you've got it ready?
I got it right here. The schedule for the week. Just let me transition to it. So the spreadsheet's not quite updated, but we're looking here at week 3. Oh shit! I forgot I have edit access. Yeah. So we're looking at week 3. We got Neil's Crab Shack versus Finale. We got DD Draft Diff versus Axolotls on tap, and BLR Bung's Last Resort versus CS Gap. I'm not saying your entire fucking name. That's for our first division. So, first match, Neil's Crab Shack versus Finale. What you got?
I'll just
Sean?
let people that are not on the team speak first.
Sean?
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
He's thinking.
Bear, Neil and Bear and JJ Bell's team versus
These two
Legends,
guys.
Syracuse.
Yeah.
1-1.
Yeah, I think these guys are the 1-1 kings of the PMA LCS, honestly. I think it's a 1-1 too.
I'm going to defy expectations, and I'm going to say 2-0 this week.
Oh, for you guys? Obviously,
Yeah,
for you guys.
For us.
He's gonna be like, yeah.
Yeah, we're getting 2-0'd. Fuck you.
He's like, I haven't played League of Legends in 5 years. We're getting.
Let me write this down before I tell everybody about this. Is us versus who again? Neil's Crab Shack?
Yeah.
You guys said 1-1.
Yep.
1-1.
Well, if we can go, this week's going to show the pattern. If Chris and I can get the correct predictions in the first division, we're first division kings. All right.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Facts.
right. All right, Justin, who did you have for this one?
I don't want to say 2-0 for coming off a little masturbatory, but yeah, I'll go.
Great guys in the chat.
I'm with my boy
I've been
T.
confident.
I'm with my boy T. We are making a lot of progress in our team practices. I think we go 2-0.
Okay. I like the confidence, man. You got to go with it.
All right, what's our next match?
We got
Bias, by the way.
Draft Diff versus Axolotls on tap.
I really hope for Axolotls that they can have a full team this week. I know that they were nice enough to like reschedule to a day for us that like worked for both of us, working with only one sub since I was gone. That being said, I think Draft Diff gets a 2-0. Oddly enough, though, I think this might be the closest team of the two, right? That their match this week and then the one versus you, Chris, next week. I think this is the one that can actually be closer than people expected. Like, I think it'll be a 2-0 for Draft Diff, but I think AOT is going to show, like, it's going to get really close.
Yeah, it's really hard to bet against Draft Diff right now. I think I have to go 2-0 as well.
See,
I think that
know.
if
Go
both
ahead.
teams have their main rosters, I think it's close, like he said, but I think 2-0 still. I think Draft Diff's just really gelling.
I don't know if I'm undervaluing Draft Diff or I'm overhyping up the teams playing against them, but I think I've had every Draft Diff game be 1-1, and I want to say the same here. I think Sean said it perfectly. It's going to be really close. I think they're going to be super scrappy games, but if Axolotls on
AOT.
top, sorry, AOT. If AOT has their full roster, they make it a 1-1.
I think this week is going to be a 1-1 as well. I think that Axolotls is scrappy enough to take a game off of Draft Diff. My only concern about Axolotls this week is we saw some like flex stuff come out against CS Gap with Ali moving positions from the jungle into mid lane, and we know her to be able to play support as well. So I'm interested to see where they're going to have everybody line up as they go into this week against Draft Diff. And I think that's going to be the big difference, is if they can get a cohesive identity of what they want to execute against this team, and if they have everybody that's on their roster available. Because I think Caleb is really a big linchpin for that team to really start getting them going. So 1-1 from me. Who we got up next?
So last in the top or first division, we have Bung's Last Resort versus CS Gap.
I think I remind myself who's on these teams. That's gonna be the thing every single week.
It's my team versus Sean's team. Who gave Greg my privileges? Honestly,
Yeah, who let the guy who created this league be a mod?
Sean, are
Well,
you
he
gonna be back
quit.
this week for this matchup?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. Honestly, I don't really care. I not that I don't care. I think this is just a 1-1 week overall. I think both of these teams, like, they'll get together and they'll get back from their breaks that they've had with each other or whatever, and then they'll start gelling like they did right beforehand, and it'll just be a 1-1. That's me.
I'm going 1-1 as well on this one.
Sean's there. It's a 2-0. Easy clap.
Ooh.
So we do have a loss this week where Hansu has left the team, and he was our unofficial coach for a week. That being said, constantly spinning gorillas and primates are going to have their first 2-0 week this week. I'm back in it. I'm hyped. I'm really I really love our team's vibe right now. Also, again, even though Rafal got the MVP, I still want to shout out the bot lane. The way they played last night, it gave me a lot of feelings. Also, did you know that CS Gap is not only constantly spinning gorillas and primates, but it's also Korn, Shannon, and then whose last name is
Greg?
G?
Greg?
No. It's all of our last names because Adler is A, P is Piper, and Rafal's last name Gladys. So it's all of our last names initial.
That wasn't calculated, was it?
Yeah, it was.
No, it was. We did. That was how we decided it, and then we made an acronym for it.
Okay.
Gorilla spin.
Chris, did you have a 2-0 for CS Gap or Bung?
Bung, dude. What? Are you think I'm about to say my team's going to get 0-2 live on air? I mean, we might, but I'm not going to say it. At least give us a 1-1 if I'm going to do that. Come on, dude.
All right, what we got next?
Next, we are going over to the second division, where we have GG Easy versus 4 tops and a bottom. Dude, it's every freaking time, dude. You know what? I'm gonna lead this one off. I'm going with 4 top. They're gonna get a 2-0 this week. No. They're gonna get a 1-1 this week.
Easy?
That's Gunji Gang.
Oh yeah, they come on, guys.
1-1, dude.
I need y'all to believe in yourselves the way that I believe in the you that you drafted. 2-0 GG Easy. Let's go.
It's a 1-1, but if it was based on team name alone, it would be a 2-0 for 4 tops and a bottom for sure.
Justin, who you got?
Oh god, I'm gonna give the 2-0 to 4 tops and a bottom. They're gonna come out swinging this week.
I'm gonna give it to him as well.
Watching
my name, that name makes me giggle every time, and that's a bright spot in my day. 2-0 until that's not funny to me.
You know what? I'm glad that we don't have team logos this year.
That's true. That's so true.
Okay.
All right, what's up next?
Next we have it's BIM versus it's Bimmy Jimmy's Bimmy Jimmy Power Hour versus Gank These Nuts.
Oh, and Gank These Nuts is Karut's team.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that Gank These Nuts is on the up and up, but I also underestimated Bimmy Jimmy Power Hour last week, and they showed up, so they're also on the up and up. So this is 2 dark horses in the second division. I'm gonna just say 1-1 because it makes me look smarter when I have now prefaced that they both look like they're playing well.
I'm going to piggyback off of you there, and the hoaxer came in with a vengeance, and he said, I'm going to prove you wrong, and he proved my expectations wrong last week, so I'm not going to doubt him again, but I think, like you said, Kevin's team is on the up and up, so I'm going to give it a 1-1 this week.
Man, I like changing things up. I was going to say 1-1 until y'all start saying 1-1, but I do think it's going to be 1-1. It's going to tie.
You can say 1-1 the other way.
Yeah, 1-1, but the other team wins. Yeah.
They won game 1.
This is a 2-0 for Gank These Nuts. Don't doubt my boy Kevin.
All right. 2-0 down for Gank These Nuts from Chris.
Oh, so
wait
now
for him.
Kevin's your boy. He was Jake's boy, and then he's not.
Yeah, I'm going to ride hard with my boy, Nate. Anyways, I'm gonna. So next is Blitz Cranks Fist Cranks, Labby's
Labby.
team versus Bees. Bees are us.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be biased on this one, and I think after my boys had a 2-0 this week, they're gonna come back and they're gonna have a 2-0 next week because I think they've sort of unlocked the winning formula. So I'm gonna give it to them. I want 2-0 on this one. Complete coach bias here.
Malcolm's on Blitzcranks, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm riding with my boy. We got a 1-1 going. I think he takes it down. Your perfection of downloading the way to win.
I see Bees as a team that like will have these pop off 2-0 weeks, and then they'll have the not pop off 0-2 weeks and not 1-1. I think they're the opposite of our boys up here, where they'll be like the 1-1 kings. These guys are going to be either 2-0 or 0-2, and I think it's a 0-2 this week.
Yeah, probably do their coach gap, by the way.
Yeah,
Jeff.
coach diff, but like the other way. You know what I'm saying? No, sorry, Jake. I love you. Blitzcranks Fist Cranks is getting the 2-0 this week, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with Chris on this one. I think Blitzcrank Fist Cranks go 2-0 up. And that's from watching their game last week. A lot of pop-offs in both games by that team.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to them.
You're not mad at me anymore, huh, Jake? Yeah, look at that.
Y'all are all gonna be wrong, so don't worry about it. Landon's taking notes right now. He's like, I'm about to come get these guys.
And last up, then we have the Dylan Ortenzi Memorial Stadium versus two coaches, one cup. So
Two coaches is Diamondback.
yeah, Diamondbacks team versus Klug's team. Okay, so here's my thing. I've predicted you guys to 2-0 2 weeks in a row now, and you guys have 0-2. So I want you to 2-0. I'm going to predict an 0-2 this week. You guys are getting 2-0'd by Klug's team. All right, now prove me wrong. Jeez.
Okay. Well, I agree with everything he said except for this is the last week I'm believing in you. If you don't get it together, I'm going to go buy a new ticket hype train to jump on. I'm going to go join my boys, like where's Quick McSchmidt or Malcolm?
Yeah. That's well, Malcolm is on Labby's team, but Quick McSchmidt is on Kevin's team. So you can join one of those.
So I might go
bandwagons.
jump in. But Chris and I said that y'all were going to be like one of the top two teams in this second division. I'm predicting a 2-0 this week. Get your shit together. Kaiba Lowell, go play Evelyn if it's not banned. Diamondback, go slap some people in the face. Do the things. Yeah.
I'm gonna be the guy that says 1-1 this week.
Oh, man, I got to break the tie. Okay, I'm going 2-0 to Dom's Dylan Ortenzi Memorial Stadium.
Thank
So
you,
2
Justin.
for 2-0, 1 for 0-2, and then 1-1.
Yeah, but my heart wants my prediction at the beginning of the season to be right.
Yeah, fuck your heart though, okay?
My
So
mind's telling me no.
all right, so that's wrapping up our games to watch. What about players?
We need to get to that. I'm sticking on literally Nate because I didn't get to watch him play. So what do you guys got?
I was pretty hot and cool last week watching that game, that All-Star game with your boy Mammoth. I think if they stick to the drafts that they were doing last week, I think Mammoth is the guy to watch.
All right. We got Mammoth coming in at Justin. What else we got?
I'm looking at Juice Me Daddy, like you alluded to earlier. He is kind of one of the cruxes of the Axolotls on Tap team, and so I think the team is almost rides or dies on his performance in some games. So I think he's going to be all eyes are going to be on him. You could say the same potentially for like Mammoth and Apocalypse, but I think that Juice Me Daddy's just with his overall play style, the champions he likes to play. I think that he's going to be my player to watch for this week.
All right, Sean, who you got?
I got Joe Cool.
Joe Cool.
Joe Cool Bremer.
Yeah. I think that for GG Easy, I was about to like pick someone from Diamondback's team, but They just need to do it. But I got Joe Cool because I think when he's on really strong engaging champions, he can enable the likes of Stormion and Gunji there. Also with like a Quadratic being generally in the top lane. But if he can have some really decisive moments where he gets everyone on the same page with him, that team will pull the 2-0 this week. Which I predicted, correct?
Jake?
That's shit. Hold on. Don't spring that on me. Which match is this? This is GG Easy. Yes, you predicted 2-0 here.
Consistency. Thank you, New Kappa Turk.
Poggers. All right. So that will be that's our players to watch. Now that we've done predictions, it's time, everybody. Justin, stand up. Let the people know.
Pants.
Is he wearing the suit pants?
Pants.
Or shorts?
He's wearing shorts.
Or sweatpants.
Wait.
Oh, it's pants.
Wait, are those gym shorts or?
No, they are shorts.
Gym shorts.
He is not wearing the full suit, everybody.
No, what we should have done, damn it, we got to have something where we can spend our channel points on it. And we could have done like, is he wearing like suit pants or non-suit pants?
Yeah, well.
Oh, I believe they already committed their channel points.
Yeah, they did. No, I definitely did a prediction.
They were
at the beginning of the stream. At the beginning of the stream, I did like a 2-minute prediction. I should have said it for longer so that people that joined in late could get on there, but yeah.
It's okay.
All right, well. That wraps up all of our PMA LCS stuff. So, Sean, give us a quick TLDW as far as what we've got going on with anything in the pro scene this week. Do we have any matches coming up, or is there anything that's weird happening in the lead up to MSI? What's up?
Nothing. Well, MSI is going to be a little bit weird. There's a little bit of a change where it's going to be like a quadruple round robin for Group A only because they have 3 teams. Also, for Pierre Saint-Germain, PSG from Taiwan, they are
Sebastian.
What did he do?
What did he do?
What?
I don't know. Man.
All right. Well, PSG at MSI is not going to be fielding their starting AD carry. He is sick, so he's not traveling with the team. Also, their mid laner may also be replaced for being sick as well. So that's basically it in terms of the overall pro scene. I will say that a lot of talk has been going around about wanting to see a League of Legends World Cup. You can go see the tweet I posted in PMA LCS where they showed you nationalities of players and like what they would look like on world teams. So that's kind of cool, like an Olympic style thing. I know I'm in favor of that, of doing that like every 4 years. That'd be kind of cool. And then lastly, the Proving Ground circuit just ended recently here with No Org, formerly a new esports main roster, taking the finals against C9 Academy 3-1. No Org has former LCS players like Viper and Big and Anda, formerly of 100 Thieves, who's also C9 Ball's cousin. And then Value, who's a collegiate academy ADC, and then Fire, who y'all might know from EG Academy from last year. So that's pretty cool. Collegiate League of Legends is starting up this weekend with the round of 32. I will be on the round of 16 broadcast on May the 9th as a guest host for 2 of the games that day. So that's going to be really fun. And that's basically it for the pro scene. Nothing much, but May has a lot of league.
All right. I apologize.
Sebastian posted a
yes, I see it. 4 tops and 1 bottom. Yes.
Yeah, he posted a nice little team logo.
He sent it to me on Facebook, and it took me out.
Oh yeah, real quick. The last thing is, there was a competitive ruling for an amateur team called Solafide, where basically they had Tuesday, Dokla, Winston, Apollo, and Zazel on their team. So a pretty stacked team for amateur org. and they promised to pay them. Turns out they didn't pay them a dime.
Oh,
And so they're not eligible, the org, to come back and compete at all until they change management. Oddity, the guy who is I have many explicit words to say about him. He is not able to be a part of anything Riot affiliated until 2024. So
damn.
there's probably lawsuits
Fair
involved.
ruling. Fair ruling, in my opinion.
It should have been harsher, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's all we got for the goings on in the pro scene and the things that are happening there. Before we get to our closing out, just to give you guys a little heads up as far as what's going on within the community. I'm unaware if Flesh still has Brother Night going. Is that still a thing that's happening? Or are we on a little hiatus because we're in the split now? If Flesh is in the chat, or somebody that's familiar with Flesh's process on that, I would love a response because we want to give that event a shout out. But the other thing that we want to give a shout out to is we want to give a shout out to our boys on the Mystic Cats. They have been performing, and I believe did you guys secure second place, or did you secure like first place?
I know they're in playoffs for sure.
You're in
I love
playoffs.
Mystic Cats, but they also take away from practice time.
Yeah, they were like 2-0ing a lot. I just remember that. So that's all I know about Mystic Cats. Second.
They got second, and that's going into y'all's playoff bracket, right, Corn? But big shout out, tied for first place in points. So that's excellent. Congrats to you guys. That's a team that consists of Yugi TFT, StarCraft, Mike, Cornstar Skiz, and Joshbox. By the way, I know that Josh likes to stream those games every now and then. Sometimes it bounces around on Dustin's channel as well. Go and support those guys. They're doing a lot of good work away from the PMA LCS right now, and they deserve all of our loves and affections, hugs and kisses. And other than that, guys, what are we doing that's not League of Legends this week? Somebody start me off.
Well, your boy Chad has been. I got bit by this bug. Not a literal bug, a bug to play sim racing games. Dude, I don't know what it is, but like, I don't have a rig for it. I just got a wheel, and I'm not going to go buy some shit because I got bit by the bug. But like, I'm having a lot of fun. Even if it's just going in circles, dude, something about playing these sim racing games is like fun as shit. So that's been my bug.
Wait, you mean to tell me that the boy from the South likes making left turns?
Yo, okay. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little Chad P trivia here. When I was like 4 years old, I was a NASCAR fan. My dad was a NASCAR fan. We weren't rednecks. We were middle class. We were not heathens. But we watched NASCAR, and I could name every driver, dude, and their car and their sponsor, dude. I was a NASCAR fan, and I still kind of off and on keep up with it. But like my favorite driver retired, and I won't tell you who it is because everybody's got their
Dale
own.
Earnhart Jr.
It wasn't Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Then you're wrong.
Just because you look like him doesn't mean shit. Anyways, no, yeah. So I always dabbled in racing games, but like this was my shit. So I got bit by the bug, and I'm ready to become a pro NASCAR player.
At me next time on that poverty thing, by the way. Justin, Sean, what's going on?
It's my privilege.
Outside of League, I've been playing a lot of Valorant.
Valley.
Been really into that game recently. Busy work schedule, but that means I get to throw on my tunes and listen. If y'all haven't checked him out yet, it's 7 years in the making. Porter Robinson just dropped his new album, and it's fantastic. Definitely recommend.
All right. Sean, over your way.
Real quick, I just want to give shout outs to like our guys who are doing good in other games as well, like Frank and Stewart in League Legends of Runeterra, and then like Rafal and all those guys doing stuff with Riley over in TFT. I think that's really cool that y'all getting high ranks there. I just turned 30 last Monday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Belated birthday.
I'm going to be flying back into Phoenix on Thursday. Been spending time with the family. I actually need to get going very soon because I'm going to go to World of Beers tonight with some family. And then I got some really cool books about atomic habits for learning and being a better person and everything. And then Gridiron Geniuses by Michael Lombardi and Bill Belichick, because I talked to the head coach of Mad Lions. And I was like, hey, what books do you read? And he was like, and I was like, I'm going to get some. And then so I got them. I'm going to read them. So that's what I'm going to be doing. That's not league related, even though it will enhance my ability to be a better person and coach. So.
Oh yeah. On my end, I'm not doing a whole lot as far as other video games outside of dabbling back and forth between Valorant and WoW in terms of whatever catches my interest at the moment. But I'm getting back into some more personal writing. And I had a really good day of just kind of like sitting down and working through some personal pieces. And I had this moment at work where I was like, oh my God, I'm getting emotional. I need to stop because I'm being a crybaby at work. And everybody's like, Jacob, baby, are you okay? So I had to hide the fact that I'm crying at work. But that's all I've got going on for me. I've just been working on my personal writing, and I'm really enjoying getting back into the swing of the creative flow that's not clickbaity League of Legends stuff. But do keep posted on my interview with Afromoo. I submitted the final draft of that last night. It's going into its next phase of editing. It should be ready to go here in the next week or so.
Sean has to go. One thing that I saw in chat, that messed up the overlay. I'm going to change this to the 3 cam one. I have prepared. One thing to shout out with the community real quick, I saw in chat, there are now 4 people in the PMA that play in the PMA LCS that are master in TFT. So I don't know how to rank them. I don't know. I know Neil was or maybe still be. I know obviously Riley and then Allie now, but I don't know the 4th one. But yeah, so shout outs to you guys grinding TFT, and I think Stuart Ganween and then Panic at the Top Hat also hit diamond in Legends of Runeterra too. So Rafal is the other one, the 4th one. So yeah, big props to you guys hitting diamond and master and that shit. Very big props on that. So super nice.
An understanding of that game that I cannot even wrap my mind around.
Yeah.
But congrats to everybody on Diamond. Congrats to everybody on Masters. Congrats on doing literally anything. If you're grinding Overwatch right now, if you're grinding Valorant, whatever you're grinding at and you're doing well in, congrats to you. But that's going to be my other point for the thing that I'm looking at this week. I talked to Eric a little bit about this. I'm looking to get back potentially into Overwatch because your boy is kind of upset that he never did that like push to Diamond in Overwatch. So that's going to be probably the next game that I eyeball here in the next couple weeks to get back into. But that's all I got. So.
All right. I guess that's going to be this week.
Closes us out on week 4 of the podcast, week 2 of the PMA LCS. We've got our predictions in, we've got our players to watch in, so be sure that you're watching out for where's that list? Be sure you're watching out for literally Nate Mammoth, Juice Me Daddy, and Jokul Bremer this week. That's who we've got our eyes on. We forgot to talk about games to watch this week, but do the thing and watch everybody because that's what we should do. And other than that, guys, thank you for coming out for this week. We appreciate you all tuning out. I hope that you were okay with the new format shift where we shifted y'all to the back end, kind of hit you with a little bait and switch this week. We like this. We think this is going to be the way that it kind of sticks around for a little bit, if not gets refined a little bit further. But other than that, guys, thank you for showing out, and we greatly appreciate it. Love you guys. Y'all have a beautiful day, and good luck in solo queue.
Bye, everybody.